All right, we're gonna call this, solid waste February meeting to order. We're gonna start by doing a roll call. I don't have my names down, but,
They're all right here in front of you.
Bob Stroud.
Here.
Bill Moore.
Here.
Don Eden.
Here.
One more. Steve Haley.
Here.
And Randy Wilson. Everybody's here. Everybody's present. So, we'll start out with, the minutes. If everybody's had a chance to read over them, if they have, I'd like to get a motion to approve them.
Motion to approve.
Second. We have a motion by Commissioner Moore and a second by Commissioner Haley. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. Okay, Corey. Let you go over yours.
All right, on page 3, the first report for January, you'll see on the third line is where we added the credit card fees in. That way we have it on the,
Look this in here, but.
yeah, you're on it right there.
Okay, hey, I don't, okay.
But we added a credit card fee line so y'all can see the monthlies on that. We just worked it in there at the top where we had a space. Our payout for disposal was $189 this month. Our transfer station income was $314. Solid waste shipped was $46.90. Solid waste paid for was $5,073. Recycling was up this month. We had hauled some extra metal out. The breakdown on the next report, of course, the convenience centers were a little bit lower in January than December because of that week after Christmas trash coming in, except for Greenbrier. They were up a little bit this month. Our mixed snow charge was down this month a lot. So you see over to the right, there was 1,217.95 tons that came in under no charge.
What's the figure we multiply that by again?
Now we're at 3606.
3606.
Text message from he's not receiving it, so.
Yeah, I noticed his mute button's off and everything. Everybody else says it's something ain't right with him.
See if he can hang up and call back in. Because he's obviously doing it from his phone because it's got the little phone symbol beside it.
Who is it?
Mr. Lockhart.
Yeah, it's got the little phone symbol. He's calling in on his phone, looks like. For what time?
It's a mix of charge.
Okay, and then our total waste in was down overall 200 tons. We did 200 less tickets than the month before. Any questions so far on the tonnage?
Yeah, I got a question back on page 3 there.
Okay.
Where it says accounts receivable billed this month. What all makes up that accounts receivable?
That is just the charge accounts.
Just the charge.
The accounts that get charged, they get billed out on the 1st, so that money doesn't start flowing in until the following month. But the transfer station income is the daily, like cash that we bring in the scale house, plus whatever bills were paid that month on account. So it's a combination of the two.
So the whole transfer station income deal is what that is.
That's what the checks were on account from the previous month, plus our daily cash come in.
Yeah, but what you're getting at, of that 314, 234 was charged.
234 was billed out, yes, so that's still gotta come into revenue.
Yeah, I
That's
understand.
what we're waiting for to come in.
Yeah, but that's not, that's not additional revenue. That's
Yes.
of that. That's in that 314.
No,
No,
I thought it was additional.
no, it's additional because that's what we billed out.
It's kind of outstanding.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the outstanding that will be rolling in February.
The 234 you talk about.
Yes.
yeah,
The, 314 is what we actually deposited in the bank for the month of January from what payments came in from December plus our cash sales.
So we deposited 314,000, and then we got a 234 that's outstanding to come
Right.
in this month.
Right,
And that'll be, we'll see that in our March meeting, added to whatever cash sales we have with February.
February, correct. The next is the revenue analysis.
You get on.
That's all.
This when I click on his name, it says audio pin number 65 not entered. I have no idea what that means, but,
I got to call back.
I don't know anything I can do here, but
Nothing we can do. That I know of.
okay. I'm looking at the second page of the revenue analysis to compare, December and January. Brush was up quite a bit, and then, tires was up just a couple of hundred. Of course, mixed waste, private haulers was down this month. Out of county was about the same. White House was a little bit lower, but you see December was higher anyways because of, the holidays. Cart fees always stay the same through the month. We didn't get the tires from the state this month, so there was no revenue in that since that's every quarter. That'll be coming in, should be on next month's report. But we were actually only in total revenue 3,000, well, almost 4,000 less, between January and December. Any questions after looking at that one?
any questions, anybody?
Corey, why do you think we've got, our revenue has been steadily going down since August? From 249, 230?
Well, I mean, it really, that October, November was extra, but the other bigger part of that was the tires. The biggest difference, I mean, like if you look at October, the private haulers was 122,
Mm-hmm.
and then this month it was only 115. It all depends on, like Waste Industries Nashville's has pretty much stopped hauling to us now since we went to the $60 a ton.
Uh-huh.
But like from the snow last week and everybody playing catch up this week, they started hauling to us. Like today, we could not keep up. I mean, we were
crazy.
loading as fast as they were dumping because one of the transfer stations in Nashville apparently was full and out in the road, they said. One of the drivers told me, because they were so full. And they even had like guards out there to keep people from dumping it in the road. So we were just absolutely slammed yesterday and today. And like I said, we were loading it as fast as it was coming in. You couldn't even tell a difference on the floor. No headroom till after we closed today.
Steve, which line item are you talking about?
Well, it's
The overall revenue.
The
revenue.
bottom?
Yeah.
Bottom line, from August down.
249, 232, 239, 231, 223. It's been a steadily decrease.
I think some of it could be where we had such a run during the start of the pandemic. Everybody was at home and they cleaned out everything they had.
Well,
That along with what Corey also said about the one not bringing their stuff here, that,
I
that
mean,
ain't,
now Waste Industries, their Clarksville division, they still come quite often. But the only Waste Industry Nashville now that comes in is because they, which White House pays for, but they bring in White House's trash, Waste Industries, and then they just bring in a few roll-offs here and there.
and I'm glad you said that, Corey, because I would like to ask, you said, what was the name of the one that
Waste
don't,
Industries.
what about anybody else like, just for instance, I don't know a lot of them, but like Bubba's company. Have you noticed any of them companies like his size, they still bringing all that
Yeah,
stuff? or
they're
have
still,
we-
that's not any slack. But like I said, there's some, that I have noticed, you know, like I said, like Nashville, they're going there because it's cheaper. And, but that, to me, if you look at the lines that have dropped, that's the main one right there. Recycle, you never know if it's gonna be up or down. And then the same way with brush, you know, if there's a storm, we get a lot of brush. Like September, we did almost 3,000 to where we only did 800 in December. You know, so those vary all the time. And the same with tires. If you look back at August, that big one, it's because some guy cleaned out a shop up here in town and brought in a lot of tires. So those items like that, it's kind of hard to get a good estimate because you never know what picks it up or takes it down.
Any other questions? Can we get a motion to, do we usually approve that?
We usually don't on the report.
No, we don't
but
usually do it.
We usually just do the minutes. But
Okay, let's keep doing like we usually do unless somebody tells us different. Go ahead, Corey.
Okay, next on the agenda, we listed on Gov Deals the old forklift, the old roll-off truck, and then the old cardboard truck. Well, the cardboard truck, I set a reserve on it of $7,000 because Dale felt like just the motor in it's worth at least $8,000. The cylinders are still good in the back, but you know, you got to find somebody that needs that exact engine or, you know, would work in a different truck. But it only, the bids only got up to less than $2,000, so I didn't accept the bid. And then I had him relisted again as emphasizing being a parts buy, you know, that the engine was still good, and he boosted that up in the listing. And this time it come in at like almost 3,000. So I still rejected the bid. So, I don't know if there's a company that will buy parts trucks. Dale and I is going to look into that because, like I said, the last one just ended last week after we ran it again. So we're still stuck with the cardboard truck for now until I can figure out how we're going to get some money out of it instead of just letting it go for $2,000 or $3,000. But the forklift, which was surprising to me, sold for $1,925. Because, see, they only offered us $500 trade in when we were going to trade it in on that new one. So I was really shocked at what that sold for. And also, the roll-off truck, that 96 map roll-off, it went for $18,300. And both of them went far away. This one,
That's pretty good, I think. For the
yeah, the
truck.
roll-off, yeah.
They went to Ohio, went to
Yeah.
Pennsylvania.
Yeah, the forklifts went to Pennsylvania and the truck went to Ohio. So on Tuesday night, the budget committee is meeting, and we're going to do an amendment for that 20,000 to go over from sold equipment over to our capital outlay line and transfer station. And then what I'd like to do is go ahead and get that, rotator that would help us out a lot for the new forklift. And it runs, I think, when I priced it was $8,000 back when we first got the forklift. But it would be that it would fully rotate around. It makes it a lot easier dumping our, plastic bins and the paint bins.
Sounds good. Any questions on that?
Would that work for your cardboard also?
If we put it in the little bins, yeah, like we do the plastic, if we could somehow keep it contained in that, it'd be easier to dump it over in that compactor, like we were talking.
Well, speaking of cardboard, just kind of out from left field, I guess, how much of the cardboard that we get in is actually things that can be recycled? You know, how much of it is contaminated?
Well, the one up there outside my office, I see a lot of contamination goes in it. And then the problem with the ones at the convenience centers is they don't break them down like they should, even though the attendants tell them to. The convenience center next door to us, we actually drive the loader up there and pack that one down just so we're not pulling it nonstop with cardboard. But, I want to try, since plastic is absolutely null right now, I would like to take the compactor we're using for plastic there at our facility and do a test run to see exactly how many tons of cardboard I can get in it. If we can figure out a good way, I think in the big open tops we're collecting in that it won't make too big of a mess if we take the grapple bucket, with the loader, put that in the compactor. Not as, it's not as big of a hole to hit, but I mean, we can pick up some. I don't think it'll make too big of a mess, but I'd like to do a compacted load of cardboard like that to see, if it would be more worth our while to haul, because
But
we
haven't
can't
moved any cardboard, have we?
no, we can't get enough weight
Yeah, that's what
in
I'm
the
saying.
open top bins because we have to do the 20 or 30 yards so people can throw in.
So regardless of what we've been doing with the cardboard, putting in these things, the bottom line is we just been bringing it back here and it's been going to the landfill.
Yes, I would like to do I was telling Dale if we can get rid of that load of plastic that's in the compactor now and just kind of experiment to see how much we can get in one of those.
So what will you do with that plastic? You said if we get rid of it.
If it's full, I'll go ahead and have them take it to Nashville, but we don't get
And would
nothing.
it cost us money to carry it to Nashville?
It didn't the last time we took it. I usually call before I send every load just to make sure that they're either gonna take it for free. But they were getting awful picky on contamination too, because when you leave peanut butter in a peanut butter jar, they consider that contamination for the plastic. So, I'm just gonna have to call them before we actually take the load over and see where they're at. Make sure we don't have to pay for it. But, that is what I'd like to try as an experiment with cardboard.
I say go for it then.
Well, Mr. Bill and I talked about where he used to work, they had a baler, to bale the cardboard. And, that's another option if we had somebody just constantly baling cardboard. And then we could get enough bales in like one of the big 40 yards, we could load them up with the loaders and then get enough weight to make it worth the while. But,
Do they pay more if it's packed, Bill?
No, because I think they sort it anyways for contamination where we take it to. That's the reason they just want it dumped out straight on the floor and then they send it through their machines and it bails it. But I just think we'd either have to bail or see how this goes compacting to get any weight to get it hauled off. I want to say it was costing, I figured it up before when we were talking a few months back about cardboard. I think it was costing for the fuel, the route of picking up all the cardboard, the driver. It was like $1,800 a month for all the cardboard we were running. That's what it was costing.
It was 1,800 more than what we received from the sale of it. What was
Yeah,
it?
because that's when it was down. We sounded like it was $20 a ton.
I guess what she's saying is that's how much we was going in the hole, Mr. Bill. I think that's what you asked.
It
But
is.
then again, if we put it back here in the back and it goes on these trucks to go up there, we're going to pay.
Well, and I
for it
figured that too. I figured
So
it-
where's the best way to get, I don't
That's the
know.
whole thing.
Yeah, I even took the tonnage when I was doing those figures and figured what it was costing us to throw away, and it was still cheaper than hauling it to Nashville when it was that low.
It still ain't free, where
Yeah.
you go.
Mm-mm. No, not at all. But that's that on the surplus. And the budget amendment's gonna be done Tuesday. And then, I did in a separate packet, because I didn't know if y'all had printed it off yourself or had already reviewed, the disposal bid packet. This is just the bid packet. It does not have the contract at all in it, because I figured that if the contract's gonna have to be changed, because one, it has that 80,000 pound minimum in it.
10 truck minimum.
Yeah, the 10 truck minimum, it has all that extra in it that went in last time. Plus, if we go a different route and have them haul, I think there's gonna be a lot more specifics we put into the contract as far as who's responsible for what. So I haven't touched the contract yet until we decide, once this bid proposal comes in, and whichever way is decided, then I think we go forward to see what we want to, have applied in the contract. But I left pretty much everything the same. You can see the blanks, I just left blank for Jody and them to put whatever dates in. I just put March 1st on that second page of there, but, so the only thing that we'll need after, if y'all approve this, is, I'll send it to Jody. She'll set up all the dates when we're gonna, do the deadline for bids. Only other thing, I updated the weight. Like I did have, we were doing, I think, 4,500, a month, and I upped that to 5,000 just from where we've increased tonnage. And then I changed the terms to the correct dates. But as far as we hammered on this so hard last go round. I didn't know if there was anything else y'all thought needed changing, or I just planned on doing it with the same 3 options that we did before.
Anybody get a question on that? I don't know what other options we could have them. Somebody else may have some ideas on, other than the 3 that we had before.
All right, Randy,
Yeah, Mr. Glover.
there's some language in this bid packet talking about, who is qualified to bid on hauling the trash.
Yes, sir.
And the language talks about that we've got to give references, and they have been in the business for some period of time, I think maybe at least 2 years. And, I'm just thinking about, I think Bubba Baggett wants to bid on it again. I don't know that we got any kickback before because he wasn't high, wasn't low. But if he was low and somebody started questioning his qualifications, it's going to kind of bring some heat on some people. So it looks like to me this bid, that's one thing that needs to be reviewed, and I would suggest that the language needs to be changed. And of course, I think the committee if the language is changed, of course, the committee would need to look at it and approve it.
Under 2.0 qualifications. But would y'all approve somebody that come in here and never done this before?
So what we got now, that you have to be in business 2 years?
We have a minimum of 5 years experience in providing similar services, which that could be hauling anything. But then it says must demonstrate access to sufficient waste disposal capacity, which to me, that's not an issue. He's just got to find a place to dump it. Written documents with the bidder's proposal, location of disposal facility, and description of the facility. A list of current major customers. This is all under 2.0 qualifications in there. But to me, if he's already got a business, he would have customers. It may not be hauling trash, but to me, if we open that up, it could be anybody coming in.
Yeah, the only one I thought was a little bit of a sticker, Corey, and I'm just asking just to get for, to get brain wrapped around it.
All right, Baggett doesn't have any customers. He just currently just trucks for himself.
Because we've got this one line on here about,
Which number is it?
I lost my line in court. 2.2, the references.
Yes.
Include at least one bidder that you provide services that are comparable to the requirements of us and needs of us. So they got to have at least one customer our size, is why I took that.
And see, when we started this bid last time, it was a suggestion that we take another county's bid packet and kind of go from there. And that's what we did. We pretty much based this off Williamson County's haul. And that was wording that was already in there.
Right. I'm not saying it's the wrong thing.
I'm not saying it's the wrong thing either, but I just know I mean, I'm kin to Bubba Baggett, I'm not knocking him at all, but he's never hauled trash before.
He's always hauled grain and.
Do you want somebody unexperienced after the trouble we've had in the past and not getting the trailers we need or what have you? I mean,
Because we've been lucky so far with all of it.
Well, what you got, we gotta, well, whoever is lower, if somebody's low, you know, that's what we're supposed to be going to, but we also gotta look and make sure they got the equipment
and
to furnish us to
Provide the
take,
service.
to provide the service, so
So we're not in what we've
Whatever.
been in previous.
just cause a bid comes in lowest, that don't necessarily mean that we gotta review it, see what,
May not be the cheapest
Mate.
overall.
Sometimes you get what you pay for.
cheapest pair of boots ain't always your best boots.
That's right.
We gotta look at everything as a committee.
that's what I'm saying, we just, if y'all wanna take that line out, I mean, that's up to y'all, but, in the long run, I hope we go with, you know,
No, it's fair.
somebody knows what they're doing.
Well, I mean, can you, if you have a low bid, let's say somebody comes in with a low bid that, like the Baggins in this situation where, you know, they don't have experience doing this. I mean, can you interview that person, that company, and just, so, you know, they understand what the needs are and explain to us how they're gonna provide for those, and then.
I mean, they would have to, before signing a contract, to say that you're going to do this, this, and this, to me, they would have to.
Yeah, but I just say, you know, then if you go through an interview process for them, and I don't think this is gonna work out, and go to bid number 2 or whatever.
Yeah, like,
Mhm.
they could, and then withdraw their bid, and then
I guess
we would reconvene and.
Kind of saying, if he is, who's low, kind of have like a little interview with them and
Mhm.
I was
The
just
committee?
question and answer thing, you know, how can you do this, how you gonna
Here's
do
what
it?
we expect, I know the bid's kind of outlined it, but still.
Should we put down there then say that each bid could be subject to an oral interview?
I don't see one on.
Yeah, we're gonna have to be careful here, because if we don't take the low bid, we're gonna get finding state. Really need to agree.
Well, I know
Gonna have to
before
be-
on, loader that we got, we didn't go with low bid because of the difference in just the fuel efficiency. But as long as you can prove that,
Yes,
I don't think you would get a finding. But, I don't know, it's however y'all want me to put in and word it
I've always heard it at word, the lowest, best bid.
best, yeah.
So it doesn't necessarily mean the lowest is the best.
Right. But as far as the specifics of the qualifications, I mean, yeah, it says minimum 5 years in providing similar services, which to me, as long as they had hauled something, that would be, like I said, okay. But he's right. If you're to list 2 major customers, include at least one that you have provided services to that are comparable. So, I mean, that would kick somebody like that out. So-
What does everybody think about that? I mean, obviously, everybody's got an opinion.
It looks pretty conclusive to me. It looks like it's adequate. Well, Burton, can you hear me? If you can, do you think we're too loose or we're too restricted?
He thinks we're too restricted because Bubba Baggett didn't bid on this.
There may be somebody that couldn't bid on these.
Well, I just don't, you know, in fairness to him, if he's gonna have to meet all these qualifications, and he needs to be told up front, there's probably no need of him even bidding. And of course, he is a local business person, and, of course, I think, you know, if his price was, low or very close to low, I mean, you know, but I just wanted to bring that to the committee's attention, and if y'all think you're gonna stay with the language that's in it now, you know, he needs to be told that the position of the committee.
Oh, okay.
I mean, he
Okay,
bid,
I
he bid
understand.
before.
I understand now, Burton, as you're talking about a specific person. Do you know this person, Corey? You know who he's talking about?
That's
Baggett.
I do.
Baggett grain.
Do they have trucks and trailers now?
They do, but
They
it's
do, but
grain,
to haul grain,
the whole grain.
He's a big farmer.
Okay, okay.
That's the question most people, I think, are concerned with, Bert, is what kind of equipment does he have if he was a low bid?
Well, I mean, he was not wasn't the highest bid last time. You know, he bid on it last go round.
Correct.
And he says he's going to bid on it again. And of course, he had to go out and get the information about what kind of trailers he could use to haul it. And he did the research on it, what they were going to cost to either lease or buy. And that's the way he developed his bid. So, I mean, he spent a lot of time last time, and anybody that's going to bid on it that's not in the business on a regular basis is going to have to spend quite a bit of time pulling things together. So, kind of the same old thing. Time is money.
Well, I'm just making a comment, Mr. Chairman. I think that we want as many bids as we can get, but I don't think we can lower our standards to accommodate somebody that's local, even though I'd like the local guy to get it. But if he's gonna have to make a startup company hauling garbage that he hasn't been doing before, that, I think that's a whole different game.
Yes.
So
I think it's a valid point.
We just have to cross that bridge when we get
But I
there.
also agree with what Commissioner Glover said. We need to let him know up front so he don't spend his time.
Absolutely.
Did you hear that, Mr. Glover?
I'd be afraid the department.
Yeah, I heard what you said.
And what Mr. Don said?
And I mean, I wonder,
Yeah.
question, do we change it for a single person? No, I mean, I don't think that's right either.
Well,
Bob? I don't know if you hear everything, Burton, that's going on. I mean, I know you hear most everything, but there's some people's concerns in here, like, at a certain time of year, whether the grain would come first or the trash would, I mean, just different people's got different opinions on that. And, I don't know how long we've used these same qualification rules, but, I don't know why we would change it to try to get somebody local to start, just like Mr. Don said, starting the business that he ain't been in. I mean,
well, Randy, he's a businessman and he's got some enterprises other than, running farming. And trucking is one part of it, and he's dealt with it for a long time. So, it's, somebody that wants to get into the business, I mean, do you or do you not give them an opportunity?
I understand kind of what you're saying, but then you got to look at it, our side of it too, though.
Well, okay.
Burton, is the hauling that he's doing, is it all for himself or is he doing some of this for other farmers?
Well, I mean, he farms 20,000 acres, and he's got enough grain that he keeps a bunch of semis running all the time out of the fields and hauling to Clarksville to the barge points and other places, Hopkinsville.
Yes, sir. My house is right across from where he does a lot of this transfer. I know all about those, what goes on there. But my question is all of this hauling, is he doing it for himself or is he doing it for other farmers?
Well, what grain he hauls off of my farm is in his trucks. Of course, I got an interest in the grain and he's got an interest in it. I mean, I think most of you would understand how farming is done on a shared basis.
I'm looking at the last bid and, he wasn't the lowest. He was number 3 in line out of 4 on option 1. And then on option 2 of just doing the haul, he was 3 out of 3.
I might add, Mr. Chairman, if we're really going to consider including the contractor to load our equipment, load our garbage, that probably would take care of itself on this deal right here, if we're really considering that. I don't know if anybody would want to buy a couple of those expensive
Front end
loaders
loaders.
to go into business.
Well, I think we really gonna consider that. I mean, I think that we are.
I think,
Yeah,
yes.
I mean, I appreciate what Commissioner Glover's saying. However, I don't know that we need to change our standards, and then we'll just cross that bridge when we get to it, if it happens to be low bid. And if they're low bid and we don't think they're qualified, then they're not gonna get the business.
Kind of like Commissioner Hoover said, but the way he put it, same thing.
Low and best.
That's,
We gotta go with the low and the best bid.
I think at bidding time, this may work itself out.
Okay.
I think that's exactly right.
All right.
Well, one of the things that I feel very good about is the fact that we're really considering subbing out that work that we've been doing ourselves.
I do too. I hope it works. And
Now, I would say to management, we have a corresponding reduction in cost on the other side. Personnel and fuel and yada yada, all that. Everybody knows what I'm talking about.
So, in my understanding, we're gonna leave the verbiage the way it is.
I think that's it. I think that's the committee's pleasure to leave it like it
I
is.
wouldn't have any idea how to change it.
Right.
If we.
Can we get a motion to leave it as is, or
I'd make a motion that we leave our
Go with this bid.
bid lingo as is.
we have a motion to leave it as is? We have a second? Get a second? All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Okay. Four.
Well, now that y'all have approved this bid packet, I will get it to Jody. Now, y'all know Taylor's normally the one that does the bid packets, and she's out on maternity leave, so, that was one reason why I wanted to hurry up and get this to Jody, so she had time to get it out. I'd like to get it turned back around too, that way we can review everything, see which way we're gonna go, give us time to make the decision. And then also, if we do go a different route, well, either way, I think there's some verbiage that needs to be changed to the contract, so then it gives Clyde time. That way, we're ready to roll by July 1.
July want to be here quicker than we
Yes.
think, so this don't do anything to hold it up on our part.
Right. Yeah, I had already spoke with Jody, and I'd already sent her a copy of this, I told her, I said, I went through where all you gotta do is change the dates and, set a bid number, and she'll be ready to roll, so it was quick and easy for the ones that's taking up, Taylor's spot while she's gone.
Yeah, when we get all of our dates on here and everything.
Yeah.
You'll send us.
Yes. Yeah, that way y'all know when it's gonna go out and come back in, and then we'll review it our following meeting. Then if that way, it'll give us time too, if y'all wanna call in, have special meetings or interviews with whoever's bid, we can do
We'll
that.
do whatever we have to do to
Yeah.
make it work and at a timely matter.
I just don't wanna be rushed at the end like we was last time.
Right. Especially since we're thinking about making this change. We need
Right, time to
have
think.
Time on our side.
If we do that, it shouldn't be no major deal really, would, if we let somebody come in and do that, really, should it? I mean,
you talking about like the verbiage? and
like
the-
just a change over, like
Mm-mm.
with our personnel and whatever they bring in, another company comes in here with.
Mhm. I think the hardest part is gonna be ironing out the exact details in the contract of who's gonna be responsible. I would like it put in where y'all are loading trash, we're loading our tires and metal. You're responsible if you run into somebody in the back of the building, all those details. Because that was the biggest thing that December that we did the trial run of them loading. They weren't used to all the small vehicles. They were used to big commercial vehicles rolling in and out. They weren't used to grandpa taking 30 minutes to unload a trailer, and blocking the door and all this. So I think there needs to be more specific things in the contract when we get to that.
Right.
I'm sure that's right. I'm sure Clyde will help us out with a whole lot of
You
that.
know, we might have to do a little bit, we might have to put the mom and pop in one location, in and out, and the other in and out.
Right.
We might have to make some changes also, what you're saying, Mr. Don.
And say I would like to have that metal pile moved before July 1, if that is the case. That way that's not in their way. But I'm still waiting for things to dry up and get the millings from the highway department for where we're gonna move that
We're
to.
gonna make a gravel lot up there for it, right?
Well, I wanna get those millings that they have from the road, and we're gonna try to pack those down good and get a better surface, a little bit harder maybe than the rock, cause where we're dumping on rock now,
Disappears.
it does, and we're digging a hole back there. And the only reason the state hasn't written me up for that water standing back there is because he knows we're in the process of trying to move it.
A lot of rock being eaten up this last couple of weeks.
Yeah,
This is the worst time of year to do that, thinking about it right now.
right.
That's
Yeah.
correct. Okay,
Yeah, after the
After
code.
it's rained.
anything else for you?
I don't.
Does anybody else have anything else we need to discuss?
Have we ever decided how we're gonna settle up create the line item for the credit card fees, whoever came up with it?
Unless, we talked in an email, if we take the 2.5 or 2.75% and pull that out of the overall,
Projected. Gross.
the revenue each month or each quarter, I don't know what would work best. It would just be having to pull
I
that.
thought you and Jody was gonna work on.
Yeah, I'm gonna have, because I don't know each month if she would take 2.75% out of what revenue came in, roll that down, say that's bank fees. But because over on expenditures, there's already a line, that has bank fees. We're trying to get it back over on this side, the revenue
Yeah.
side of the page.
I don't think we need to make it too complicated.
Right.
It's a little less than $2,000 a month, maybe $1,850 a month. That's gonna be a line item that's gonna cost us.
Right.
On average for a year.
That's what we gotta do is just show it.
Sure.
Line item, so then we won't have no more problem.
And I
For
normally,
right now anyway, but
and I've been telling y'all
everything changes.
the percentages, also, and I forgot to, right now we should be at 58.33% at the end of January. Our revenue is at 66.84. And then our disposal cost going out, of course, should be at 58.33, and it is at 55.04%.
There you go. You're on the right side
Yeah.
on both figures.
We're on the right side on both, coming and going.
Now,
But we gotta keep it that way.
you
Yeah.
just gotta keep it that way, but you
Yes.
just gotta keep it that way 4 more months.
But it's a lot, the revenue was a lot closer last month when I told y'all that. It was it was only 6% higher, to where now we're at, what did I just say? 66
Yep.
from 58, 8%. We're up 8% on revenue, so that looks even better compared to that other way.
Well, anyway, we're not under, the gun right now to figure out how we're going.
Now, I figure when it comes to that budget time, when we meet with Jody and start preparing for budget, I know she's under more right now. Like I said, that's the reason I want to hurry and get these bids out to her, because I don't want to overload
Yeah,
her.
because remember, the budget is an estimate. We know what it's costing this year, about $20,000.
Mhm.
So if you divide 12 into that, that's about $1,800 a month in
Mhm.
round numbers. So add something to it, that's what we need to budget for next year. To make a line item somewhere, and I was looking at the budget somewhere in there for just another line item for credit card expense.
Yeah, and the cost went up, so credit card fees have gone up, because people are paying more per transaction. And also, when we had to redo the budget the same way as the year before, well, of course, there was a big increase just in a year. Because I remember the first few months, we didn't take 5 credit cards a day, but now that everybody's used to it, I think it'll continue to increase.
Sure.
It won't decrease. That's for
We,
sure.
and we probably need to allow for that, because we
Right.
really
You're
are
right.
trying to drive people to the credit card, away from cash.
And I
And
haven't
away from
asked, has there
checks.
been any word that is it gonna be like last year and we gotta pay, because of COVID, try to do the same exact budget again? They're already talking that?
Okay. Is what we're shooting for. But we will review it middle of the year. If I'm understanding, got a need. Something to talk about.
Anybody else have anything? That's all you got, right, Corey? And when you get all them dates, you'll get us an email out.
Yeah, when the
and we need
packet's
to
ready to go,
do
I'll
anything,
send.
we're here for you, so.
Okay.
Entertain a motion to adjourn then.
Second.
All in favor, leave.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.